I thought I was using him, but he was already ahead. I thought marrying him would give me control, but the moment he looked at me that night, I realized something terrifying. I wasn't the one in charge. The room felt too quiet, too big, too unfamiliar. I stood there, still in my wedding dress, staring at the man I had just married, wondering if I had just made the biggest mistake of my life. Lee Junjie didn't rush. He didn't speak immediately. He simply walked further into the room, his presence filling every corner like something heavy, something unavoidable. And then his eyes settled on me. Sharp, unreadable, dangerous. You should be careful who you try to play games with a wife.
His voice was calm.
Too calm. The kind of calm that didn't need to be loud to be threatening. I swallowed, forcing myself not to look away. I'm not playing games, I said. Even to my own ears, my voice sounded steady. But inside, my heart was beating too fast. He took another step closer, then another, until there was barely any space left between us. You came to me with a proposal, he said quietly. A calculated one. His gaze didn't leave mine. You wanted something. Yes, I said. And you think you're the only one who gets to want things? That made me pause, because I hadn't thought about that. Not really. I had been so focused on my revenge, on my plan, that I hadn't considered his. What do you want? I asked. For a moment, he didn't answer. Instead, he reached out and lifted my chin slightly with his fingers. The gesture was gentle, but it didn't feel soft. It felt like control. Everything, he said. My breath caught. Everything? What did that even mean? Before I could ask, he stepped back. Just like that. As if the moment hadn't happened. As long as you're under my name, he continued, adjusting his cufflinks, you follow my rules. Rules. Of course there were rules. There are conditions to this marriage. I expected that, I said. Good. He walked past me, completely at ease, like this was just another contract to him. Rule 1, he said. You do not act without my approval. That hit harder than I expected. I'm not your puppet, I replied. He stopped, slowly turned, and looked at me in a way that made the air shift. You came to me, he said, not loud, not angry, just factual. And now you want independence? I clenched my jaw. I want respect. For a second, something flickered in his eyes. Something I couldn't quite place. Then it disappeared. Respect is earned, he said, not demanded. The word stung, but I didn't back down. Then I'll earn it. Silence. Long tense. Heavy. And then, a small smile. Not mocking. Not cruel. But interested. We'll see. The next morning, I woke up to a life that didn't feel real. A room too elegant to be mine. Silk sheets. Floor-to-ceiling windows. And a man who was already gone. There was no note. No message. Nothing. Just absence. For a moment, I wondered if last night had been a dream. Until I looked at my hand. The ring.
Cold.
Heavy.
Real.
The house was massive. Too quiet. Every step I took echoed like I didn't belong there. Staff moved around me politely, but carefully, like they weren't sure what I was yet. A guest? A mistake? Or something more dangerous? Good morning, madam. I turned to see a woman, elegant, composed. Mr. Lee has instructed that you have breakfast, she said. Of course he had. control even in absence. By afternoon, the first crack appeared. I saw it on my phone. A message from Lu Jian. We need to talk. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I laughed. Because now things were different. When I arrived at the cafe, he was already there. Restless. Anxious.
Good.
For once. Zaraya, he said as soon as he saw me. I've been trying to reach you. I sat down slowly.
Calm.
Collected. Like I hadn't once cried over him. I'm busy, I said. His eyes softened. I know you're hurt. Hurt. I tilted my head slightly. You think I'm hurt? He hesitated. And that hesitation told me everything. You think I'm still the same girl you left in that room? I continued. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? He ran a hand through his hair, frustrated. Look what happened. It was a mistake. A mistake. I almost smiled. She means nothing, he added quickly. It was just convenient. I finished. Silence. There it was. The truth. You don't get to come back now, I said quietly. I never left you, he insisted. And that almost made me laugh. But then, his expression changed. Wait, he said slowly. What is that? His eyes dropped to my hand. The ring. And for the first time, he looked shaken. Zaraya, what did you do? I leaned back slightly, enjoying it, just a little. I got married. The words landed like a bomb. You're lying. I'm not. To who? He demanded. And that was the moment I had been waiting for. I met his eyes and said it calmly. Your uncle. Everything changed. His face, his posture, the air between us. That's not funny, he said. I'm not joking. You wouldn't. I already did. His chair scraped against the floor as he stood up. You don't even know what you've done. Oh, but I did. You should have thought about that, I said softly, before you lost me. That night, when I got back home, he was waiting. Li Junjia, sitting like he had been there for hours. Watching, observing, calculating. You went out, he said. Not a question. A statement. I didn't deny it. Yes. With him. My heart skipped. How do you? I told you, he interrupted calmly. You don't act without my approval. There it was again. Control.
Power.
And something else. Something darker. You're tracking me? I asked. He didn't answer. Which was answer enough. That's insane. No, he said quietly. It's necessary. For what? For you. That didn't make sense. What does that mean? He stood up slowly, walked toward me. Every step measured. You've made yourself a target, he said. A chill ran down my spine. What are you talking about? He stopped in front of me. Close. Too close. My nephew doesn't lose well, he continued. And now you've embarrassed him. I don't care. You should. His voice dropped slightly. Because you're not the only one who can play this game. He leaned closer, just enough for his voice to brush against my ear. And next time, I won't be there to watch you walk into danger.